This video.
I know.
Yeah, we do.
Yes. But I'm gonna put it on your head.
It's weird talking on the phone. So hello. Hi. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you so much.
Anytime.
I love you. So I don't know how many of you know about a little bit about my story, but I had a rough upbringing, and unfortunately, I know far too many of you can relate to some of the pain and broken homes and things like that. So I am going to actually start right around the time I was in 8th grade, and I'm gonna read some of my some of chapter 6, and then I'm gonna skip over to chapter 8, depending on how long you guys want me to read.
Read that tomorrow.
Read the whole book.
Well, girl, I'm gonna read.
While I was growing up, Mom worked full-time in a factory, but she always came home and made time to cook for us, do laundry, get what we needed for school, make sure the house was in order, and provide what she could that we needed. My mom still loves to do these things for me when I visit her in Canada. Today I can appreciate the backdrop behind my mom's way of being, but as a teenager, the fact is it hurt. I couldn't approach her about things that were important to me, like how I felt when my dad left. That was a big one. His leaving was traumatic. I didn't understand what was happening, and I didn't get an explanation. He was here one minute and gone the next. Because my mom didn't acknowledge my feelings of confusion, I didn't feel she was a safe place to use my voice. Whenever I would talk to her about something that was bothering me, I'd have the gnawing feeling I was more of a burden to her than simply a child who needed her mom. So I quickly decided it was better to leave her alone. Along the way, I came to some pretty unhealthy conclusions. I wasn't important. My feelings weren't valid. My thoughts didn't matter. So I learned how to cope with what I could handle on my own by stuffing it inside. I locked the most upsetting and traumatizing events in a place so deep I hoped I'd never be able to dig them out. When I was in 8th grade, I started hanging out with the wrong group of girls, the ones who were always getting in trouble for something. Stealing was our chief thrill. We especially got a kick out of stealing ketchup chips, the zesty cheese Doritos out of the school cafeteria. I know, big deal. Want to hear a really embarrassing secret between just you and me? My friends and I called ourselves the Chipettes. How cheesy is that? The 6 of us were big shots, rebels without a clue. We were joined at the hip. We did everything together. We had slumber parties, we swapped clothes, we pined after cute boys, we complained about our parents, we shared our disdain for school, and of course, we got off on our small-town criminal activities, like stealing chips, and when we were feeling super cocky, cheap red lipstick from the local drugstore. 5 of us also loved to sing and were involved in the school tour choir. One day, the choir was scheduled to perform a concert at a huge mall in London, Ontario. People all over the mall making their way through the food court, hustling in and out of department stores to rummage through clearance racks, and dragging reluctant husbands and whiny children up and down the escalators would hear our melodic repertoire, like my all-time favorite, Chicago's You're the Inspiration. The 5 of us were excited about performing, but mostly we were psyched about spending a school day at the mall.
I'm gonna watch these 5-minute videos.
I sensed something weird on the bus ride here. I sat on a 2-seater by myself and my friends sat across from me. The girls chatted away in their private world, leaning into each other at such an angle I couldn't help but feeling they were ignoring me. They nodded my way ever so often as I tried to force my way into their conversation. They were polite, but curt. It felt awkward, and I felt left out. Did I do something wrong? Did I say something wrong? As the bus bounced along the highway, the massive billboards and gray office buildings flashing by, my hurt feelings festered. I ignored the rest of the choir as they loudly belted out their singing.